What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tim and thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Today I wanted to talk about where did Treyarch go wrong in the development / just game cycle of Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War. What happened between Cold War and other Black Ops titles? I don't get it. And I kind of just wanted to open this video up as a discussion for all of us to just kind of talk in the comment section. I'll be reading them and I want to know what you guys think. What happened to this game that is so drastically different / worse / just not as good as the classics? Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, even 3 and 4 aren't that bad. Like, this game is obviously the worst Black Ops game. I can admit that. As much as I may or may not like this game at times, it's definitely the least fun, it's definitely the least polished, and I think everyone can agree. Everyone who's played any of those games can agree. Before I get into it, the gameplay you're watching is on purpose. You're watching some Nuketown gameplay. I am extremely campy with this. I think it's the Stoner. Yeah, it's the Stoner LMG. I have Diamond LMGs, but this is a 19-3 gameplay. Following after this gameplay will be a 25-8 sniper gameplay on Nuketown as well. And I wanted to talk about Nuketown and show Nuketown because Nuketown has been in every single Black Ops games. I was going to say Cold War game, but obviously this is the only Cold War game. So yeah, Nuketown has been in every single Black Ops game. Why is it the worst in this game? Like, I think it's the worst. I mean, not necessarily looking wise, but it's the worst playstyle wise. And I just want to know why. What is the reasoning? What happened to this game that makes it so not fun comparatively, right? So let's talk about maps first. I think the first reason we can, think about why this is different and why it's, in my opinion, worse. Again, this could be all my opinion. Maybe you think Cold War is the best game since Black Ops 1. I don't know. Maybe you think that. But like I said, for me, Cold War is the worst Black Ops. So let's talk about the maps. I think first off, the maps just aren't Treyarch style. I think this goes without saying, but they're not all 3-lane. They're not very simplistic. I think Black Ops 4 was a good representation of a simplistic 3-lane style map for the foreseeable future. Like, everything in that was a 3-lane. I guess you could say kind of a copy paste of the same old, Contraband, Arsenal. A lot of those maps were just 3 lanes, you go 1, 2, or 3, and there's people there. I don't know. That's it, right? There's nothing else to it. Yes, there's head glitches, but there's not much elevation. There's not a whole lot of verticality. There's not like, oh, I have to watch out for a claymore in the corner or something like that. It's very simple. It's an arcade shooter. It was very colorful. There was just not a lot to it. If you compare that to something like Moscow or Satellite, there's a ton of places you can get shot from, a ton of elevation. It just doesn't feel the same. And some people like that, some people don't. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, I think where Treyarch went wrong in terms of maps is you either have to build the map to be campy or to be rushy, okay? Like, I'm okay with a campy map as long as we know it's supposed to be campy, but we have these maps that are just disguised as rushing maps when they're actually camper maps. I think kind of Moscow is one of them. I think Cartel is one of them. Miami's like a campy map that's built to be campy, and I'm okay with that, It admits its campiness. Miami basically stood up and said, hey, I'm a campy map, don't try to move, because that's what it is. But you have these other maps like Cartel, Moscow. I would say Crossroads Strike is okay. That's kind of a rushy map. But like the other maps, Cartel is probably the biggest one. It's just like, oh yeah, you think you can move on it, but then, you get shot from the bushes, or you get shot from the tower or the hangar side. Like, you think you can move, but no, there's a guy in the window. Sorry, you can't move anymore. And that's the issue with this. I don't know who decided to build these kinds of things into the game, but it's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, Treyarch, I'm sorry, but like, your map design has gotten significantly worse since Black Ops 2. I think Black Ops 2 had the best maps, probably in the franchise. Like, collectively, Raid, Slums, Standoff, obviously Black Ops 1 had some bangers too, Firing Range, things like that, just like Nuketown. Like, all these maps were so much fun back in the day. Obviously, there's a lot of other contributing factors like weapon balance and matchmaking and stuff like that, and I'll talk about that. But as a whole, I think maps is one of the biggest issues as to why Cold War is the least fun Black Ops title in the franchise so far, and again, that's my opinion. The next thing I want to talk about in terms of where Treyarch went wrong, in my opinion again, is the streaks. I think the streak system is just not smart. I don't think they did it well. I don't think they should have done it like this. I think if you were going to do streaks, you should have just kept it as regular score streaks, like in Black Ops 4 or Black Ops 2 even. Just keep it simple with this whole kills is part of the streak. Playing objective is the other part. There's no like, oh, your streak doesn't reset when you die. I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I would like it because I'm not a good player, but I don't want that at the end of the day. It just becomes this annoying, like, oh, the game's almost over. Better drop my 5 artillery strikes and napalms. Like, no, that I don't want to deal with that. Like, it's just not fun. I've made videos on this in the past. I'm sure you guys have heard other commentators complaining about streaks in some kind of way. But in my personal opinion, that is not fun. I don't want this participation system for streaks, for rewards. That's not fun to me. Okay, don't have that. I don't know if that's just me. You know, let me know in the comments. Do you like the fact that when you die, you don't lose your streak? Like, to me, it doesn't feel rewarding afterwards. Like, if you earned a chopper gunner, but you died like 15 times in a row, I don't know. Is that fun? Like, that doesn't seem fun to me. It doesn't feel like you earned it. It feels like, oh, you just handed it. Oh, you died a lot, but you did good earlier. So we'll just give you this like cruise missile here. Have fun. No, I don't want that. You know what I mean? I get what they're trying to do in terms of like making it feel like bad players can do something, but I think there was a better way you could have done it. Maybe easier streaks or lower streaks you could have made like super easy to get, and then higher streaks had to be like, I don't know, had to be staying alive or something like that. Because of this streak system, I do think it incentivized camping, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons why you see a lot of camping in this Black Ops game in comparison to a lot of others. Like Black Ops 4, for instance. I compare to Black Ops 4 because that was one of my favorite COD games. BO4 did not have that much camping. Even if you could, it was, you know, counterable, you know, like if they were camping with Torque or, I don't even know who else, Nomad maybe, like there's 0 to cancel it out. Or, you know, you could just shoot launchers at the shields and stuff like that. You could do stuff about it. There's Flak Jacket, there's Engineer, there was stuff to counter it. But in this game, there's not much to counter if someone's just in a window or something. It's very Modern Warfare-esque in my opinion, and I don't want that in Treyarch games, you know, keep the camping in Infinity Ward games and keep the rushing in Treyarch games. As simple as that. That way you feed both fan bases and nobody gets annoyed or nobody gets, you know, bothered by the fact that they can't move or that they have to move in one game versus the other. The next thing I want to talk about is the gunfights. Obviously, you guys know gunfights, aim assist, hit detection, connection. All this stuff is just, it's a coin flip. It's a coin flip. It always has been. I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know if it's because they were on a rushed, schedule this year with the pandemic and all that and having to pick up over Sledgehammer's, spare parts and stuff. I don't know if that's the reason why, but gunfights are a total coin flip. Like you win some, you lose some. That should not be the case. All right. Skill should always be number one. And it doesn't make sense. And you guys know BO4 through BO1. I don't know. I said it backwards, but BO1 through BO4 is what I meant. In those games, gunfights never felt this bad. Like you could say BO4 felt a little bad because of the higher health, but you get used to it, right? Or you play hardcore. You do something about it to get over it. But in this game, you can't really get over it. There's just, the headshot multiplier is weird. People have armor. People have stim every 5 seconds. Like there's just so much going on in terms of health. And when you're playing gunfights, it's like I said, the connection, sometimes people don't even look at you and they kill you. That's happened to me a lot. I'm sure it's happened to you guys where you're just shooting at someone, you turn, they're not looking at you and you're like, oh, okay, I can line up a headshot or something. Boom, they just laser you even though they're looking like at the ground or something. I don't know. I know this happens to you. Don't even try to lie in the comment section. Okay. I know that happens to you because it happens to me like super often, like not even like kind of often, super often. And the last thing I think Treyarch went wrong with in terms of just Black Ops Cold War is the lack of content. And this I don't really attribute to Cold War as much. I mean, I don't attribute to Treyarch as much because I don't think they could have done much about it. There's not a whole lot you could do working in a pandemic, picking up over spare parts from another, dev studio and stuff like that. So it is what it is in terms of lack of content. I think it'll get there, like Raid and the mall map, they're good additions to Cold War. I don't have an issue with either of the maps. I think, once everything's settled down, once, Warzone's implemented and less glitchy, because it is glitchy right now, I think once all that stuff happens, it's going to be an enjoyable game. I think this game is good on paper. It just needs a lot of time for the paper to be flattened out and all the bugs and glitches to be sorted out. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. I think I'm running out of time here. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay commentary in the background. And if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what your Black Ops rankings are, like 1 through Cold War, 1, 2, 3, 4 in Cold War. And, we'll talk about it in the comment section. So with all that being said, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Discord. All that stuff's in the description down below. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.